Hello, hello. I am recording for days 285 and 286. This is February 1 and 2, 2025. And oh, it was a wild week all week, and I mentioned that in my last episode. Just it was so fast paced. Everything was really on the go. Everything was really good, but it was very, very um, busy and active, and even very, very high vibrational. So, like, I find personally when I'm in a high vibe for an extended period of time, I end up crashing a little bit because I'm just like it's almost like it's too intense to stay there, and I find, like, I'm lasting in that longer now than I used to without it crashing, so it must be, like, a gradual process of, allowing our bodies to sort of adjust and be comfortable in that state of super high vibration for longer periods of time, so it's like a gradual process, but this is just my, passing observation. Um as you can hear, I have gotten sick, however. So Jace was sick all last week. He was on antibiotics, he was coughing, all of this stuff, and he got clear of that. And I went from this wild ride week and high vibration. And then Friday, the kids had off of school. And Friday night, I had 5 extra kids at my house. I had 4 of Cadence's friends sleep over, so 5 teenage girls in the house, and then I had Jace's best friend, same as the weekend before, um, sleep over again, and also had Jace and Casey with me. So there were 8 kids in my house total. I ordered all the pizza, and it was crazy, right? It was really again, it was just like a continuation of the intensity of the week. And it wasn't bad, it was fine. Um, once the younger kids went to bed, I had to remind a lot for the older ones to be quiet and things like that, but it was not bad. Um, but I think again, just the intensity just kept rolling, right? And then um Saturday, it sort of dragged out throughout the day. A lot of the kids stuck around. They were here until later, stuff like that. So we had a really busy Saturday also. And then Saturday night, I took Jace and Casey to Jason's, and I was starting to feel this, like, this weird sensation. My skin was like prickling, but not like it was painful, almost like a burning sensation all over all of my skin. It was very, very strange. And on Sunday I woke up and all of my muscles and joints hurt and everything was just like ugh. And I got up and I really I mean I could tell it was the crash from the week, but also it felt like it was more than that. I thought maybe it was some sort of like an upgrade sort of energy. It was very like um what I would call like ascension symptoms is sort of what it felt like, combined with I was like, please don't be getting sick, please don't be getting sick. And um I it turns out I was also getting sick, because by the end of the day Sunday I had this deep wheeze coming, well, like I would randomly wheeze and cough really hard, and it was like um out of nowhere, it felt like. And the burning sensation all over my skin was back though. So I feel like it was like 2 things at once. And um and really just this uh I mean, I took all of Sunday pretty much to reset myself after such an intense week to I did some yoga to try and loosen up those muscles that were feeling so sore. I did some meditation. I just sort of relaxed and unwound and did some not overly uh activities that were not overly needing of my attention. So I did things that didn't need my brain to be functioning, and it's still clearly my brain is still not functioning fully at full capacity. Um, but I just did like tasks that I could just knock off when my brain is all foggy and not feeling great. And I think by the end of the night, I wound up having a fever. I was getting hot and cold flashes, kind of thing, and chills, and it was just kind of, you know, uh, but I still was sort of wrapping things up from the week. Um, I had things that I was supposed to do, and I kind of looked at them and went, "There's no freaking way," and uh, got extensions on them. Like I'm doing this Moon IQ program, and it was like, well, I'm going to be working with the same archetype for another 2 weeks because I can't do the ceremony for that right now. Um, I'm working on an editing project, a book project for a client and friend, and even that, like, my deadline was coming in. I asked for an extension, and it was just, push back as many things as possible so that I can allow myself to rest and recuperate after this insane week. And really just leaning into the trust that that's exactly what I was supposed to do, right? And it's really interesting to me because I find, like, during that high energy, there's no there's no resistance. And I could even, like, while it was so fast paced and while it was so high vibrational, I could even be aware, like, this is a lot of days in a row of this, and I feel like there's a crash coming. And yet there was no pull, really, no part of me that was like, I should just pull back. I should slow down. It felt like that would be introducing resistance that didn't need to exist, if that makes sense. So I suspended disbelief about that. I just allowed that to just go and just, ride the high while it's there. And um I wasn't overdoing myself. I wasn't pushing myself past my limits. I was getting enough sleep at night, all of those kinds of things, but it was just this very intensive vibrational alignment and very fast paced. So I really think, like, maybe the crash, I don't know if there's a way that the crash doesn't need to happen. Maybe this is something I'm still learning. Maybe this is, whatever. But it really felt like if I tried to deliberately slow down, it would actually have created that resistance that wasn't there. And that just isn't logical, right? There's no reason to create resistance. Um, that would be having an upper limit problem, right? That would be having this part of me telling myself that I shouldn't be allowed to have it this good. It shouldn't be okay for it to run this smoothly, for things to go this well, for this many sales to just roll in so easily, one after the other, for a program that I launched to be this aligned for so many people, things like that. um, I could be telling myself those stories, or I could just allow it to flow. And if it means that I crash and burn a little bit, then it means that I crash and burn a little bit, I guess. And to me, it just is, um, it makes more sense. I don't know why, if that doesn't make sense to other people, but to me it makes sense. It makes sense that it would just be sort of this, um yeah, I don't know, just that um allowing and having that be okay. And really, I mean, in the end, the fact that it came to a stop, that I don't just keep on riding in that energy. Part of that is our cyclical energy, and we don't last in this high energy and fast pace forever. But also, um, maybe eventually I did hit an upper limit where it's just like, okay, that's enough now, right? And then that's why you end up crashing and burning, or why I ended up crashing and burning, and maybe that's the case, and that's okay too, right? And it's all just learning, and it's all exactly as it's supposed to be. But I really have to say, I was very on top of the world, very on top of, like, I'm creating what I want to feel in the world. I'm feeling what I want to create. I'm like master of my universe, my personal universe. I am co-creating with the universe to create these results. And it was very, very, like, all of it was very deliberate and very, like, hands-on. I was getting very tuned in to my own intuition, to my inner self, my higher self, and just taking the actions that I was directly guided to take, and everything was just smooth sailing. It was just smooth like butter, right? And um and I don't think that I can complain about that. So so even if I end up a little bit sick after, and that's a combination of the energy and the fact that my son was sick, and then my system going into sort of overdrive maybe or whatever, and then taking on that illness from him, um then I guess that's okay. Right? And that's fine. It's also Sunday is also Imbolc, which is the halfway point between the winter and spring equinox. So we are headed towards like those warmer months and the all of that. So it's time to start thinking about like, what are our intentions? What are the things we want to be bringing in? What do I want to start focusing on for the rest of it? And I really um didn't feel a ton of drive and motivation to get on that on Sunday, so I pushed it off and we'll get to it on Monday. Um, and that's okay too. And we're still in that energetic window of time and everything, but my brain just wasn't ready to wrap around the concepts of what seeds do I want to be planting? What do I want to be focusing on in this next part of my life? And all of that. It just wasn't there. So allowing it to be exactly as it's supposed to be, and knowing that my success is inevitable anyways, and it very much in fact is already here. So yeah, that's my random explorations on a crazy weekend and the winding down of the intense energies of the week before. And that's what I have for you guys today. So I will talk to you all tomorrow.